Hey everybody, it's Kendéll Lenice, and welcome to More Than Just a Movie, where Leroy and I break down classic Black films. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to be talking about I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. We are still in the Wayans Brother month. All right, we are in the Wayans Brothers month, Leroy. We are talking about, by popular demand and request, I'm going to get you, sucker. Leroy said someone asked him, hey, Blossom, how are you? Someone asked him to do I'm going to get you, sucker. And since we are doing the Wayans Brothers this month, we are focusing on the biggest, the one that brought them all in, Keenen Ivory Wayans. Before I introduce our wonderful host, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., let me tell you about I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. So if you have been under a rock and if you're a youngin' and you've never seen it, then this is a spoiler alert disclaimer. Shame on your mama, your grandma, your great aunties and them. You should have seen this classic. This came out before maybe you guys were born, but me and some of our other viewers, I'm sure. But December 14th, 1988, it was directed by Keenen Ivory Wayans, and it starred Keenen Ivory Wayans. He played Jack Spade. He comes home to the ghetto and finds his brother dead from a gold chain overdose. Let me tell you something. I'm going to finish doing this, but my family, my mom and I, we would say that all the time. But with the help of his hero, John Slade, played by Bernie Casey, a team of washed up crime fighters, Spade declared vengeance on Mr. Big, the white crime leader responsible for selling gold chains on the street. But Spade realized that he must take matters into his own hands and finish the job. It's a zany spoof of the 70s blaxploitation films. Now, don't get it twisted. This movie was made. First of all, I'm so glad that Keenen even got this. It was made with $3 million, but it made $13 million back in 1988. It starred Jeanette Dubois, Kadeem Hardison, Jim Brown, Bernie Casey, Huggy Bear, Antonio Fargas, John Witherspoon, Damon Wayans, Clarence Williams III. He's a colon cancer. He passed away of colon cancer, so I gotta say that. Chris Rock, Robin Harris, and so many other actors. We are talking about I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Leroy McKenzie Jr., Dr. Leroy. All right, let's get it.
You've been like, but you need a lot of people on this.
Leroy, I can't hear you. If you're watching live, tell me if you can hear us both. Please drop it in the comments. Leroy, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you want to come out and come back.
Those other people were in there.
Okay. If you're watching live, please let us know if you can hear, because I can't hear Leroy. I can't hear Leroy, and I want to make sure we can hear, because the Wi-Fi won't get us.
All right. I'm going to go out and then come back in.
All right. Leroy is going to come out and come back in. Okay. And he's going to come out and come back in. And I'm just checking. If you are watching, please tell me if you can hear. And he's going to come out and come back in. Okay, I just tested it. All right. So Leroy is going to come out and come back in. But we are talking about I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Now, I'm Going to Get You Sucker is a classic Black film for your bottom. So if you have never seen I'm Going to Get You Sucker, I need to see while Leroy is trying to work out his the Wi-Fi. You know, we praying on the Wi-Fi because y'all know Wi-Fi sometimes it is a hit or miss. So let's extend your arms to this screen and pray for the Wi-Fi. Amen. But I'm Going to Get You Sucker. I was in the 11th grade, I believe, when that came out. And I remember going, I'm trying to think if I went with my mom, because we always would say when he said overdosed on gold chains, and the enemy was supplying gold chains to the neighborhood and they were trying to get this crime. I loved it. It was a spoof on blaxploitation films. And it was so silly and so funny, and it gave us a chance to laugh at ourselves. That's the beautiful part of it. It gave us a chance to laugh at ourselves. Leroy?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, perfect. Yep. So I didn't hear anything that you were saying. I heard you say something about you didn't realize all those people were in it, and then I didn't hear anything else.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there were a lot of the folks that you just named that I hadn't realized was in the movie. When I was looking at the cast, I didn't see Kadeem Hardison, and I'm trying to think of some of the other ones you named. I'm like, what? Robin Hurst? I'm like, where were they?
Hardison. Yep, Damon Wayans. Because think about it, in '88,
yeah, I got Damon.
We didn't know Robin Harris like that.
Right. Of course, yeah.
And then Damon, which I love about the Wayans, they're gonna put each other in the movies.
Well, yeah, definitely. That was gonna that was gonna happen. But yeah, I wrote down, I guess, the major. There was the names that you named too. The one because you said Robin Hurst, didn't you too? Didn't you say him too as well?
Yeah, Robin Harris, Chris Rock, Kadeem Hardison.
Rock. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Kadeem Hardison. I'm trying to remember him. But him and Don Lewis were on A Different World by that time, weren't they? In '88.
Yeah. Yep. You're absolutely right. And then Clarence was the third. Everybody knows him from Mod Squad and all of that, and he was on there. He recently lost his battle with colon cancer, so I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he passed away, I think, last year of colon cancer.
Really? Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. So Robin Harris, he appeared as the bartender in the movie, so it was really quick.
Okay.
Okay. We gotta go back. Because think about how long it's been. I was saying that I remember seeing that, I think, with my mom, because we were always talking about they OG over gold. Like, we would laugh at that all the time, because that is so, it's like we're making fun of ourselves. And it's so funny because how many people do you know walking around with every accessory they own on?
That was the Mr. T era though. You know, a pity the fool. He had the whole mountain of chains on him. So I think that's where they got that from.
Right. And then think about Biz Markie and a lot of the rappers. That's what happened. That's what you did. You like over accessorize, And so I thought it was funny because if you're Black, like, you could relate, even if it wasn't you wearing over gold, you can still say, oh, that's just like such and such in the neighborhood, or that's just like somebody. And it's so funny. Also, when Huggy, he's gonna be Huggy Bear forever. Antonio,
I know, right? Yeah.
And Starsky and Hutch, for people that don't know, that's where Huggy Bear came from. Yeah, y'all better do
they too young for that. They too young for that one. They don't know nothing about those Starsky and Hutch.
Right, Starsky and Hutch. But it's so, like, that part was so funny. Like, if somebody had been locked up, or somebody has been, because you don't even need to be locked up to have had somebody who, like, I know people right now that graduate from high school 35 years ago and they still wearing their basketball their high school basketball jackets, because I guess that was their glory days. and they still wearing them. So think about that. They talking about high school every chance they get, and they've been out of high school 40 years. And they talking about when I was in high school, it's like
the Al Bundy complex.
Right. It's like, okay, I pray that you've done other things since high school. Ain't nothing wrong with reminiscing on high school. But if you're still living in high school, there's different than reminiscing and living.
Yeah. That's not a good thing. That's not a good
thing. Do you
thing.
remember watching this? And what were your thoughts? You seen him come out with that aquarium in his shoes, them fish in his shoes, the glass shoes?
I'm trying to think. I don't remember going to the movies to see it. I just remember I just remember the movie. But yeah, that was vintage, pimp daddy coming down them steps like that, walking down the police station steps, coming out with the fish nets, because what was his character? His character was Fly Guy. Fly Guy coming out. He was from the 70s, so he had the coat, the hat, the shoe, like you were saying, the what they call them,
fish, them platform shoes with the fish
platform, the platform shoes with the fish inside the bottom of the shoe. Absolutely.
And until people start laughing, and we're just going by memory because I haven't seen this movie in years. So it's a classic film when we can talk about it, and we ain't seen it maybe in over a decade or two. You think
I know, right? That tells you.
It's classic. But remember when they were laughing at Fly Guy when he thought he was a fly guy, and then people on the street like, where he been? And they laughing at him. Then he looking all self-conscious. Remember? Like everybody
he been locked up for a minute, so he came back out. Times had changed.
Right. So even with the love affair with Dawn Lewis, who played Cheryl Spade, and of course, John Slade, their little love affair, they even did it like, the movies, because I love when movies, of course, they always have an A plot and a B plot, and they were falling in love. They had the romance, part of like the blaxploitation films, except nobody was butt naked. A lot of them, they'd be butt naked with an afro. But they had them together, and then you had the exaggerated, the overacting, they really did a spoof. So think about when we talked about because we're doing Wayans Brothers, the month of Wayans Brothers, and think about when we were talking about Scary Movie and all of those spoofs. This was the first spoof.
Yeah. I mean, no. I don't know. Was it the first spoof? Because I'm thinking
the Wayans Brothers did, not Weird Al.
No, that's what I'm. No. I'm thinking of Keenan's first movie, Hollywood Shuffle, him and Robert Townsend's movie. That was a spoof as well, too, I think, because that was a spoof off of black exploitation movies.
I just think that of Robert Townsend's. I think this is the first of Keenan by itself. I guess that's the way I guess I'm thinking a little bit.
Right.
He partnered with Robert Townsend for sure, but he wasn't the lead. Robert Townsend was the lead in that. But that was like making fun of Hollywood and how they tell black actors they need to be more black, and this is how black people talk, and you need to talk like this. And then they get off the stage and they have this thespian Shakespeare voice. But they want you to be like, blood, you better give me all your money. Like it's all exaggerated and the game. But I was trying to think. So Robin Harris was the bartender, but then Chris Rock was the rib joint customer. So he was just a customer there. Right. And then you had Anne Marie Johnson, who we talked about. And now let's talk about that. Anne Marie Johnson, she played Cherry. And to this day, 30 some odd years later, everybody still talks about what, Leroy? Her character.
That character when she for whatever, she becomes her real self.
But what she do,
and
Leroy?
take
What she take off?
and,
What she
and
take off?
she took off everything. And when I say everything, I'm talking about physically. She took off her hair. She took off she took off her what was it? She took off her hair. She
Her
took off her
leg,
leg. And what else was it that she
she had
pulled
her
off?
nails. Remember, she had her
Was
nails.
it the nails when she popped the
She was like
nails
pop,
off?
pop, pop, pop. And then when she took so it's already like, because he was like, okay, she's getting ready to make love, and she's like,
Right,
let
right.
me be myself. So take off the wig. Like guys, like, okay, a wig. People wear wigs. My mom and grandma, auntie wear a wig. Okay. Then she started taking. Remember, she took, I think, her eyelashes off.
Eyelashes. Yep.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
took
Yeah.
those off, and it's like still like, okay, women makeup, fake nails, okay. But then when she started getting to the lower regions, and she told him, "Don't make me hop after you," she took the leg off. That was hilarious. People are still talking about that
Yeah. There's
when they talk
still.
about I want a real woman.
But yeah, and that was the funny thing about it. And I mean, you talking 1988. So
Mm-hmm.
he is, even back then, it was talking about, women being fake and having, like you said, all the way from the hair, all the way to the lashes, to,
Mm-hmm.
to the leg, to the
Mm-hmm.
legs. And even now, because I'm sorry, Kendall, I don't get it. I don't get women and these eyelashes. I'm not understanding it. I'm not understanding it. And I'm like it. And I guess some women, and I haven't gotten the true answer to it, but it's like those that wear those eyelashes, it's like they can't say that they're doing it to gain men's attention, because the men I know are saying it's too much. You know what I'm saying? I've not heard a man say, that they aren't doing too much with the eyelashes. It's like, why you, well, and a lot of women will say, well, it's just to enhance.
But they be
Well,
having men though. They be having a man right by their side with them
really?
eyelashes be like this.
I,
They be holding hands with
I,
they boo.
yeah, I just,
Ones that got the real eyelashes ain't got no man.
I'm just, I ain't understanding it at all. I'm like, and some of them are just ridiculous.
Yeah,
The
they are.
eyelashes.
Yeah, they are.
I'm just like, yeah, that's
You look
absolutely.
like
I'm like, have you?
squirrels.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, did you even look at yourself in the mirror? I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. I mean, I ain't trying to upset nobody, and but I'm just serious. Take a look in the mirror, before you go outside. That's all I'm saying. You
Let me
know.
tell you something. Them eyelashes are. I wish I had investment in them. Even though I don't wear them, I've never wore, like they say, fake or false eyelashes or eyelash
Right.
extensions. But I wish I would have invested in them, honey, because
Yeah.
everybody. That's a great
Yeah.
business.
If you.
I wish I would have been a part of, because everybody
Yeah.
and they
Because,
mom, they say they addicted too.
well,
Once
here's the thing
they get
too.
them,
The there's even, I guess, the techs that put them on. They make a lot of money.
yeah,
They have to put the lashes on and stuff like that.
yeah,
That's not something that you can just,
no,
you can just arbitrarily do. You
yeah,
gotta learn that skill
because they do
and
them hair
everything
by
like that.
hair, individual. They put them on
Yeah, that's what
individual.
I heard. I'm like,
Yep.
that's
Now you have,
crazy.
yep. Now you have some in the drugstores and different stores where it's one strip, but
Right,
then if you
right,
go to the text, they want them to be so real that they put one by one, and they're
wow,
expensive. From what people tell me, like I've never gotten them, but I
right,
remember this one girl was mad because her husband or her, paid for somebody's to get done.
wow.
It found
Ooh.
out, found out some things and saw that bill.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah. So like I said, I don't get it. Haven't gotten it, but hey, as one of my friends said, you like it, I love it. But
Right.
but I can't. I'm like, yeah, nah,
But
nah.
some of them, they look furry and they look like tarantulas.
Yeah, they just, yeah,
They have
tarantulas,
those
other
furry,
caterpillars. It's
yeah,
just, yeah,
it's weird.
and they're
It's
just, some of them are really big. They just
yeah,
look
like
too.
fans out, fans.
Yeah, they pan out. They kind of fan out and up. So, you know, you gotta be, yeah, you gotta be kidding me. I was, I was, Kendall, I was done when I,
Woo!
when I was going to the grocery store one day and coming back out of the grocery store, I saw a car with the eyelashes on it. I was too
I've
through.
seen
I
them. I've
I,
seen them.
I was too through. I was like, you know what? I
Funny,
was like, I can't.
funny.
I was like, I can't.
Nobody, to each his own. Like Leroy said, you like it, you love it. We like it, you love it, or we love it, you
Yeah.
like it. However you want to say it. We just trying to talk about 1988's I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, because they've been wearing fake eyelashes for years. They used to call them
Yeah.
falsies back in the day.
Really?
So
Okay. Okay.
and in the 70s, because weaves, all of that stuff been there. Wigs, people were doing that.
But and see, you brought up something, and I think it's key. And this is the entrepreneur in me, and you mentioned it, but you were saying if you had thought about it, you would have invested in that back then. That
Mhm.
industry, the whole hair
Beauty.
care, beauty industry, is a billion
It is.
plus industry,
Yes, it
and we
is.
not get and we're not getting any of it.
No.
We're not the ones selling the hair. We're
Mm-mm.
not the ones doing the eyelashes. We're not
Mhm.
the ones that have the makeup.
Not even the beauty
Any of that.
stores, because
Right.
the Asians block it. Like, it's very tough. Like, there are a small group of blacks beauty. So my daughter wants to own one.
Uh-huh.
Black beauty supply owners,
Okay.
because they don't want to. The distribution centers and the distributors don't want to give the supplies to black people. So
Hmm.
very, very small. So we don't even have a monopoly even in owning the store who sell the products.
But that's a good topic to talk about, because here's the thing. And we often talk about this in our community, and why we don't own anything in our community, because you can go to that store
Mm-hmm.
in our community. You buying that hair, you're
Mm-hmm.
buying those eyelashes, you're
Mm-hmm.
buying everything, the skincare products and all of those other things in there, and that money is being taken right out of our community. It's going
Yeah.
into their pockets, because they taking that money. At the end of the day, when they close that shop up, they
Yeah.
taking that money out, and we have to understand the power that we have. So I don't want to hear people talking about we this and we that. We have the power to control that industry, because if women aren't buying from those distributors and saying, look, we want to have our piece of that pie, or even saying, not like Sam Cooke said, he said, I don't want a piece of the pie, I
With
want
the
the recipe.
Yeah.
You got the recipe.
Yeah.
So you want to own the recipe, and be a part of that distribution chain. And
Yeah.
I was telling people this the other day, because I heard, I believe it was either my mentor or somebody, but we started thinking about this. It was like, you want to be in the economic ecosystem of, as an entrepreneur, you want to be in the economic ecosystem of your clients,
Mm-hmm.
where when they think about buying certain products, they're coming to you. Like, if I need my car fixed, I'm going to my mechanic. He's in
Mm-hmm.
my ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
If I need books, if I need a book cover, I'm going to my graphic designer. They are
Mm-hmm.
in my
Yeah.
ecosystem
Yeah.
of what I do business.
We'll
And
definitely
it should be the
do a show. We definitely got to do
yeah,
a show on that. And I
yeah.
apologize, everybody. I thought the ticker, I just changed the ticker. I thought that we had the weekly voice up, and I just noticed that because we got into the conversation and the wrong ticker was up. So this is
Oh,
more than
was
just a movie where we break down classic black films. We just was talking, and I
it?
looked, I was like, wait a minute, the weekly voice, that's
That's
tomorrow.
That's how big. That's how busy she is, y'all. She a hardest working woman on YouTube. She just got all of them. So she just like, okay, which one is this? What is it? What day is this? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, because they're already pre there, and I thought I hit the right one. I'm sorry. So there we are. It was ready. You see, I didn't have to type nothing. It was ready to roll. I just clicked the wrong. That's what happens when you a one woman band. You the producer, the content creator, the director, the this. You man. Sometimes it's sometimes. But the
Absolutely,
show got it.
absolutely.
So definitely. So if you've watched from the beginning and you're like, oh, wait a minute, but we did talk about it. All right, so let's talk about So there we were talking about Cherry and taking off the hair and all of that other stuff, and being that real woman. And it's so funny because people talk about, I want a real man, a real woman. What is that? What does that even mean? But the whole movie plot, and it's so funny because he was getting all the old retired players and to try to have this whole little army to go ahead and take down the man who was killing people. Junebug died, because that's why he came home. Slade came home because his brother Junebug died because he was over gold, right? OG'd, overdosed on gold chains. So the hero had to come in and save the day to see who killed his brother, who was supplying all of these gold chains. We're not talking about drugs. We supplying that's killing the Black community with the gold chains. Who did it?
Killed him. You killed him, my brother.
So he was mad, and it was an epidemic going around that claimed the life of Junebug. And they had to find out. So they got together and formed a team that looked like the Bad News Bears. And that's another one. If you ain't old and don't know who the Bad News Bears are, so they had to get together. Kung Fu Joe, Fly Guy, Slammer, and Hammer, and they had to get to Mr. Big and who. And that was Isaac Hayes and Jim Brown. They was fooling around. So it had a lot of former football players in this movie who turned actors.
Yeah. Because you got to think about it. Probably Jim Brown, and who's my other guy?
Bernie Casey, wasn't he?
Not Bernie Casey. I'm thinking about because him and Jim Brown played in a couple movies together. They called him the Hammer.
Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes.
No, not in this movie. No, not Isaac Hayes, but his nickname is the Hammer. They called him the Hammer when he played football because he played for the Kansas City, and I cannot remember his name right now.
He was called Hammer too.
And I'm wondering, I didn't see his name on here, so he must not have been in this movie because him and Jim Brown did a whole bunch of movies together, like the Magnificent Seven, something like that. And I got his face, and I cannot remember his name though.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say but like you said, they brought a lot of the. But you gotta remember, 1988, these folks that we're talking about here, most of them, except for maybe Don Lewis, Anna Marie was probably she was pretty well known back then, even then, because she had been out for she had been there in a minute. But Don Lewis, like you talked about, what's the one that died? You mentioned his name.
Clarence Williams.
No, not Clarence Williams, the comedian.
Robin Harris.
Yeah, Robin Harris. All of those in 1988, they were just starting or just kind of getting their feet wet in the industry and everything like that. So for Keenan to bring them on to a cast like this is a star-studded cast right here.
It really is, but they weren't the stars they were stars in the comedy world, and they had to bring it. They were trying to. That's what I love about Keenan, though. Like he was bringing, and people don't know Marlon and Sean were in this movie, and they were just like, what were they? Customers? What were they? They were something. Oh, pet pedestrians just in the street. So even they were young back then. He put them in the movie, which I love. So
absolutely.
Yes. But then I look at this list, Leroy, and so many people have passed away. We have John Witherspoon. He's no longer here. Jeanette Dubois. I'm not sure if Bernie Casey is here, but Isaac Hayes is gone. Antonio Fargas, I believe he just died a couple years ago. You have Robin Harris, who passed away. Clarence Williams, who passed away. You just think I'm looking at this list and Peggy Lipton, she was in it. She was married to she was in the Mod Squad with Clarence Williams, and she was married to Quincy Jones. She passed away.
Jim Brown still holding on.
Jim around is still holding on. And I'm looking, and some of these other people, I don't know if they're gone, but it's
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
them who passed away. And Kim Wayans was in it. She was a
Uh-huh.
nightclub singer in it. Nadia Wayans, that's probably one of the, of course, one of the family. She was a bar patron. So that's what you got to do. Like when you have a movie, you're putting your family on at the same time. You're like, hey, I need somebody for this role, and I need and family coming together. Like we're gonna be a part of this movie, whether we're getting
Yeah,
paid just to even help out if you needed another person. You get what I'm saying?
right. No, absolutely. And we need to think of that too. And that's a great the Wayans are a great business model as well
Yeah,
when it comes to us and owning our own businesses.
yeah,
And a lot of folks will say, well, I don't do business with family or this, that, and the other. But if you look at other ethnic groups,
yeah.
they put their other family members on. It's like,
Come on.
look, they will put them on. They'll work together. They
Yeah,
will do what they do in order to be able to get all of them ahead. It's like,
yeah,
look, like you were saying, if one eats, we all eat.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make
yeah.
sure that you get paid, because I have the opportunity to be able to make sure that you get paid. Even
That's
if,
right.
like you said, it might not be a lot of money, it might not be, but it's something to be able to get you,
Yeah,
to kind of make sure that you're getting something, and that you
absolutely,
even, get recognized or whatever it may be for, for the business that you have and stuff like that. And
absolutely.
it
Because
also
we didn't know who
inspires.
they were then. We didn't know who came. This was pre Living Color. So we didn't
Yeah,
know who Kim Wayans was. We didn't know who
right,
Marlon and Sean were. We didn't know. We knew who Damon was early on and Keenan.
right,
That was pretty
right,
much it.
right. I mean, and the thing is too, even with that, with Keenan doing what he did, I'm quite sure that inspired Sean and Marlon. You
Yeah,
know, them
for
growing
sure.
up, seeing their big brother do what he was doing, because that was the same way with my older sister. My older sister had her own physical therapy company growing up,
Wow. Oh,
and I saw that, and I'm like, well, dang. I'm like, okay, she's doing her thing and everything like that. So he was a inspiration to them, not just himself, but for all of the rest of the family, especially with Marlon and Sean being what, at least 10, 10, 15 years younger than him.
mhm.
So they see him and they're like, well, wow, this is something that I can do. And they also learned the work ethic. They learned the putting the other family members on. All of that gets passed down through that legacy
Yeah,
of the Waynes. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So I
yeah,
think that's cool, and that's what I take from just the Wayans family, period.
for
You
sure.
know,
I
you know,
agree.
and how they did all of that. So yeah,
I agree.
it's great. You
And
know,
I love them. I totally agree, Leroy. And I love them because they're not afraid to love each other, even in public, to
yep.
be there for each other. I could not even go to sleep last night because I was supposed to be going to sleep. And I came across Shantae Wayans, which is the sister Elvira's, and she's like Keenan and them sister, Elvira's daughter, Shantae Wayans, and Damian Wayans is their children. But then you have Craig Wayans, which is another of their cousins, and then you have Damon Jr., which is Damon Wayans' son, and then you had Marlon. So they had done something. Shantae Wayans, they're all comedians, right? And
Hmm.
Shantae
Hmm.
Wayans is like, she's a gay girl, so they always like kind of joke her and stuff, and just be like raw with it with the jokes. So they're all laughing and stuff. So she had a YouTube show on where you have to act out things with sounds. Like
Okay.
if I turn your mic, if I turn my mic off and I'm like doing charades, like, and my
Right.
mic
Right.
on,
Right.
then you have four screens. It's two teams. So then you have the one teammate trying to
Oh, okay.
guess. And the other ones had to. I'm gonna send it to you. The other ones have to kind of distract them, right? So Marlon was late getting on because of the way you had to get on. He was like, "How you get like so?" But he did it for her to be a part of that. And then he was like, "You need to take this show to cable TV. Why are you on YouTube and doing this? And you need and but they were joking on each other, and it was
Right.
so funny. So then that was Damon Jr., Craig Wayans, Shantae Wayans, and Marlon Wayans. So that was the nieces, nephews, and then the uncle, which was Marlon. And it was so funny. It was like 2-something in the morning. I was like, I gotta get up. I need to go to sleep. I was cracking up. And it was a good YouTube show. People don't know. People underestimate YouTube. People making bank on YouTube.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all subscribe. So I'm trying to get them 1,000 followers or subscribers.
It is absolutely.
He was joking because he couldn't, because it was so technical. They had gone through another thing, and he had to do this, and Marlon had to, download this, but then they gave them, it was a very well produced show. They had a producer going on, and they had sent him the rules of the game and all in the email. Marlon ain't read the email. Everybody got props. Marlon like, well, what's going on? They was like, man, you ain't read the email. So everybody else was prepared, and Marlon didn't have the thing. So then he was making up props, which was stupid. It was so funny, and he was trying to do it, and he was like, y'all pulling out all of this stuff, and they like, read the email. So you can tell sometimes he wasn't like, he didn't seem to be like technically savvy, where you have the younger ones, because Marlon's like our age, but then you have the younger ones who were on it ready to go. So I'm watching this thing. I didn't even get a chance to see it all. It's like probably 2 hours, an hour. And Marlon was like, well, how long is this? So then it's 3 rounds. And then they were laughing. And then Shantae was like, if we could get started, it would be over. But you keep interjecting. So they was just doing that family thing. And then they were showing so much love. So I say all that to say, even with her YouTube show, Marlon was like, I'm still supporting my family, even though I'm this big dude that can do this. We still doing this. Even David, like all of them are successful in their own right. But I love the fact that they love each other out loud. A lot of families don't do that.
Don't do that. Absolutely. They really don't.
I've seen Sean kiss Marlon on the cheek. I seen Damon kiss Keenan. I seen Keenan kiss Sean, like on the cheek. They hug and they show so much love. And y'all know it's like 100 of them, because think about all of the kids. Then you got the grandkids. Then you got the nephews and the nieces. Then you got the cousins. And so, but they all seem like they ride for each other. And a lot of Black families are not doing that, especially publicly. And I think that it's great to watch them love each other.
Yeah. And that's important, because like we said, to me, I believe Keenan set the tone for all of the rest of them, for all of the rest of the kids. Because I believe he's the oldest out of everybody, out of all out of the whole 10.
He is.
Yeah. So he set the tone for all of the rest of them. And I'm sure his parents instilled that in him. You got to take care of your brothers and your sisters, and looking out for them. So even when he did make it and he did get his opportunity, he was like, look, I can't do this without my family. I've got to not only bring me, but I'm going to bring my family along with this for the ride. And because, I mean, how the whole family, it's just like the wine is, how the whole family talented. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like the whole, like, I'm trying to think of if I got one good singing family member or one good, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, 15 pack.
I'm like, the whole family. I'm just like, man, like, share the talent, y'all. They'll spread the wealth.
I know, because think about, because some of the Wayans, a lot of them just do other things and they're not in the industry, but it's so many, it seemed like a lot. But then the Winans, they all can sing.
They all of them. I'm just like, dang, is there anybody that can't sing in that family? I'm like, man. But it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
To see, like you said, that black love, that Black family love, that Black family excellence. They're not just putting out anything. There's it has a quality to it. It's gonna make you laugh. Even the spoofs movie, you'd be like, oh, they just so stupid. They're just so stupid.
Even the YouTube channel, like, even though that was produced well, it was good. But even like Marlon be like, just to be like, because I can get you on a network. Like, just imagine having that pull. Like, if he was my cousin, like, for real, you could get me on it. Just that simple. You create it, you do the work. I'm going to help you get to the next level.
Yeah, but it seems like she's like, no, I want to do this on my own. I
Yeah,
don't want to use the name as
yeah.
a way for me to be able to get away. It's almost like
And she's a
Denzel's
traveling
son.
comedian, so she's making money. But
Yeah,
you know her. But if you don't, you don't. You get what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, and she understands, hey, I've got to earn my way. I'm not just going to live off of my family's name.
Yeah,
I'm not just going to get indoors
yeah,
just because I'm a Wayans. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
And create
So,
her own.
that's
That's
cool.
like
Right.
embedded, and I think that comes from Keenan. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, I
all
do
even
too.
the
Yeah.
younger second generation Wayans, where you see your uncle created this, so you see
Yeah.
that there's no limit or possibility. No
Yeah.
impossible, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not impossible. And sometimes with black folks and people, you just got to see that one person that did it and be like, I can
Yep.
create my own.
Yeah, yeah, and he gives them or gave them the I say the black print for how to
Mm,
do it. Can you imagine having an uncle? Hey,
mm,
can I run this by you? I'm trying to do this. I just want to know your thoughts on it. I don't need you to to put me in with somebody or this that and the I just want to know how I can do it, how I go about doing this. Having that kind of a person to be able to go to
mm-hmm.
in your family, you know,
No
and
doubt.
having several uncles or several aunts that you could run stuff by, said, hey, what you think about this? Or even like you said, the second generation saying, Damon Jr., who's probably doing well out of all of the
Mm-hmm.
cousins,
Mm-hmm.
saying,
That
hey,
was
Dad,
more behind the
you know,
scenes.
yeah, what do you think about this role? Do you think this is a good role for me? Or should I kind of navigate this way? They can assist them with navigating through that Hollywood, as you and I both know, it can chew you up and spit you out
Mm-hmm.
without even hesitating. And
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to young with the young actors and actresses
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. It can chew you up really, really, really quickly. So having that family structure in place is I think is phenomenal, and is really great. And I mean, Keenan has just been he's always been talented. I mean, and I'm gonna get you sucker. It's funny. It's one of those movies that I don't care how many times we watch it,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be funny. it's gonna be funny. It is gonna be funny. You just think about the different parts, and everything, and it's just hilarious. And I wanted to, and I wrote this down. Even and this is we kind of got away from it, but even I guess back in '88, and I don't know if you looked at this, but the soundtrack for this movie.
Yes, break it. Let's
Did
talk
you
about
see
it.
the list? Did you see the list? You had. Let me give you some
Come
of the
on.
folks that was on there. You had the Gap Band. I'm gonna out there. The name of their song was "I'm Gonna Get You Sucker." The Four Tops. If ever a love there was. Here's an old name for you. See if you remember this one. Jermaine Jackson. Ah, and here's the title of his song. Clean up your act.
He need to clean up that head.
I know, right? Oh Jesus. My girl Jennifer Holliday.
Mhm,
Everybody, I love Jennifer Holiday.
mhm. Yep.
Magic Man, Curtis Mayfield.
Come on.
Come on,
Now
y'all.
he
I'm
got
your
gold.
pusher.
Come on. Now we know Curtis Mayfield has done
Mr.
soundtracks himself.
Um what's the Superfly? That's the one he's known for.
Yeah.
Superfly. That
Yep.
that song. But and he wrote the song He's a Fly Guy, so that probably had that Superfly tone to it. And then my group of all times with my boy BDP Jack of Spades. I don't know if you remember that
Yes, I
song.
remember that
But
song. I remember the video. Boogie
yeah,
Down Productions for those that don't
yeah.
know who he is.
And you know who BDP is. Yeah, exactly. Because
I
everybody knows that
Jack
every superhero has to have what? A theme.
music. That
Got
theme
to
music.
have a theme song.
That
Hey,
theme
got
music.
to have a theme music.
Man, how many people? I have posed that question to so many people. What is your theme music based off of that? When they were like
I
every
like that.
superhero, and I
I
love
like that.
my theme music is "Fine" by Mary J. Blige. That's my theme music.
Which one? Which song?
Fine, 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 fine,
Oh,
fine.
okay. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, yeah.
that's shoot, my 50th birthday, I was like, that's the jam, but that's my theme. So I always ask people, what's their theme music? Like, what would be your theme music?
Your theme music, yeah.
Because
I love
everybody
it. I
got
love
their theme music that kind of, but when he said
that's a good icebreaker. That's a good icebreaker for a speaking event.
Look, don't be trying to look. I'm gonna be looking at your Facebook. You're gonna be asking the question. Every time we
you're gonna see it again. So if you see me at a speaking event and I ask them what their theme song is, I turn to your name. I want you to write there what your theme song is. Just mind your business. Just mind your business.
Woo, because I ask people that because it gives them a chance to really think about, like, hey, if I got theme music, pumps me up, that's positive, that gets me going, that says a lot about me, what is it? Because I'll ask people all the time that. So definitely, you can have that. You can have that because I got it from.
Here's the last one, and you probably see you go back with music just like I do, so you probably still know this group, but Friends of Distinction.
Yes, that's the old school. My mom, that's what my mom knew about Friends of Distinction.
Right. And for y'all that don't know, look up the song "Going in Circles." Just look it up and just let it play. Just going in circles.
Boom, 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 boom.
Absolutely. Hey, Kendéll, I know these young kids, like, what in the world are they talking about? Going on, And who is a Jermaine Jackson?
They know him from that Lego hair he got. You ever play Lego with the hair on?
Woo!
Jermaine Jackson stuff looks. When they were talking about the girl who they used the Gorilla Glue, they were like, Jermaine Jackson been doing that. That hair is shellac. It looked like shoe polish.
It ain't going nowhere.
It don't move.
It ain't going nowhere. But but this I wanted to bring up that soundtrack because that was a great soundtrack.
That's a good soundtrack.
From that movie too. It had a lot of great names. On that soundtrack and everything. So yeah.
And I like how it was written. I like how it was written.
Yeah. I mean, but it's Keenan, and like you said, he's been writing, directing, producing for years. And let me ask you this: do you think that he gets the accolades that he should for his writing and for his producing? Yeah. Does he have a Hollywood?
I don't think so. And just like the people get Lifetime Achievement Awards and different things like that, they giving them to, and this is no disrespect. Please don't take it the wrong way. I don't want her fans to come get me. Everybody likes her songs. They're bops. But Ashanti has a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. So and I use her as, even though she's been around for a minute, all of these people have been way before her and done a lot of different things in a lot of different areas. And they don't have one. And I just thought about her first because I remember she got one a few months back. Not saying that she's not deserving of it. It's not even about that. It's about, you see people that aren't even older than us and they have them, and people that are older than us that deserve them as well.
He certainly deserves to have.
Let me look that up real quick. I want to see if he has one because I don't think he does.
Yeah, I mean, I just truly believe him and Damon, I think, should have a Hollywood. They should be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and should be recognized. You know what I'm saying? Certainly should be recognized for what they've contributed to Hollywood and just the like I said about Keenan's writing. For In Living Color, and then even his catalog of movies that he's produced, written, directed on.
And he might have one, so let me see.
Okay.
I don't know. He's there with somebody else, but let me see. I don't know. No, he was just there for Jennifer Lopez's because she started on his show.
She got one and he don't have one?
Jennifer Lopez got one a couple years ago, and Keenan did a speech
Right.
when she got hers.
Wow. That's crazy.
But he doesn't have one.
Wow.
No. And I know with them, like the fans have to campaign, because I remember with New Editions, I was there when they got their Hollywood Walk of Fame star. But even years prior to that, I remember there was a petition going around to sign it to get them to get one. So a lot of fans have something to do with the Hollywood Walk of Fame stars. But most of the time, the fans will do it, or the people, their people, like their managers, publicists, they will get it going. So I wonder if Keenan was like, I don't want that, I don't need that, or people are not talking about him, like you're saying, getting the credit that he deserves to get one.
I mean, because but I think about him and Robert Townsend. Does Robert Townsend have one?
Let me see.
How did two of the most prolific directors, writers, black writers, directors that we know, that we can think of, that paved the way for so many others, not have a Hollywood Walk of Fame star? Wow.
Let's see.
You just made me think of that.
I don't see Damon Wayans. I had to check for him. I don't see him having one. Let me see. And Robert Townsend, why am I thinking that it's been a campaign for him to get one? I don't know. Let me see. Robert Townsend. I got a chance to interview his daughter, and she was just a joy. She's on Black Lady Sketch Show. Have you ever seen that? Like, have you ever watched that?
No. I've seen maybe like a little bits and pieces of it, but I've never sat and watched it.
Season 2. It's season 3 now.
Which one is she? Which one is she?
She's been in season 2, and she's in season 2 and 3.
No, I'm saying what does she look like?
Pretty girl. It's hard to tell on there. Light skin. I'll send you a picture. Light skin, pretty features. Sweet person. It's funny because when you say what does she look like, I know what she looks like. I've seen her. I've interviewed her, but she does so many different characters that she looks so different.
I got you. But Robert that show is about.
Yeah, but Robert Townsend.
Yeah, because that show was about doing different characters.
Exactly. Robert Townsend said that he was preparing her for years, because when she was younger, they used to have to come in and out of characters, and she would make up all of these, and that would be their time spent together in the car and stuff. So it's funny how you're prepared already. She's cute. She has like sandy brown hair sometimes. She's cute. You'll see she's a younger one on there. So she's the youngest one on there. So if you look at her, you have Robin Thede, who started it. You have Gabrielle. You have the girl Ashley. So you know who Gabrielle Dennis is. You may know who Robin Thede is. Ashley, pretty face, kind of. She's the heavier of them.
Okay.
Beautiful hair. And then you have Sky Townsend.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah. I know I probably didn't describe much because I'm sitting here. No, Robert Townsend doesn't have one.
Wow. And like I said, when you think of black directors and writers, I think of Robert Townsend first, because he was remember he used to have that comedy show where he would bring on the different comics.
Yes. And he always used to have Harold Hewitt on there all the time. I'm gonna be like, good.
Yeah, and he paved the way for so many of them. And you think about Keenan with his writing. Yeah, I mean, because I think of them, and I think of, you had Mario Van Peebles.
That's Robert Townsend.
Oh, okay. You had Mario Van Peebles. These were the ones that were writing in the 80s and 90s. And then, John Singleton came along, and then Spike was, you definitely got to throw Spike in there too in the 80s, in the mid 80s. Because you probably had Robert Townsend, Spike, Keenan, that were writers, and I don't know if Keenan was a director back then, but certainly started off and then grew into the directing piece and everything like that. And I believe Spike has a Hollywood, but that's a good thing. That's a good question. That's a good question about
Who do
these
you
great.
all, do you think, put it in the comments, do you think that Keenan Ivory Wayans deserves, or Robert Townsend, but we're talking about the Wayans, Keenan Ivory Wayans, do you think that he deserves a Hollywood Walk of Fame star? I do. I think he's put in his and so many people younger in having been in the business and creating as much as he has. They have Walk of Fame stars. You said Spike Lee.
I would put Keenan's catalog up against anybody's.
Yeah.
You know, I really, I would put it against anybody's. You know, I would put it up against anybody's. Catalog that has been a writer director. I mean, and even when you talked about the box office, 13 million, and the budget was 3 million.
Come on now, in 1988. So
right.
wait,
you quadrupled your budget
in 2020. Spike Lee just got one in 2020.
Okay, which he deservedly so. He should have.
Right.
He certainly should have.
That budget, I agree with you. That budget in 1988, they gave Keenan $13 million to film that. And it was
no. They gave him 3 million.
And he
gave him 3 million. 13,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Basie said
it's just
both deserving of Hollywood Walk of Fame for sure. Hey, Bay.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, that's surprising that they haven't been acknowledged at all. I don't even have they gotten an NAACP award or anything like that either.
I don't think they may have for In Living Color. They may have, but I don't know. Like, I don't remember Keenan ever being in award season getting up there with no acceptance speech. Think about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't remember.
I don't remember seeing it either. And he certainly. Yeah, he certainly deserves that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So as we come to the end, I want to do, of course, some quotes from the movie, a couple of things. So Hammer says, Spade, we ain't heroes no more. We businessmen. John Spade said, you two big MFers in here cooking red beans and grits. You can call that business? Hammer said, dang, Slade, you really know how to piss on a man's parade. Slammer says, what makes you think you could be a black hero? He said, Jack Spacey, I'm an ex-football player. And you get the joke because you got these ex-football players now that's turned like Jim Brown turning into superheroes.
Yep.
You have this one got too many cuss words in it. I don't know. So Fly Guy said, my bee better have my money through rain, sleet, or snow. My whore better have my money, no half, not some, but all my cash. Because if she don't, I'm going to put my foot in her. That was Antonio Fargas, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Like
they was talking like that and then walking, doing that walk. Because it was a thing when we were little, and then we're gonna wrap up. When people used to bop. And remember how they used to do this, and then even on the Jeffersons, they tried to get Tom Willis to walk black, and they used to do that exaggerated thing. I ain't never seen no black man I seen black men walking with swag, but never that. So remember, Antonio Fargas would do that, and I guess that's how the brothers used to walk, with a little swag. Remember, people used to do that because when I was little, men used to
come on. Are you forgetting our forever president and that Chicago walk he got coming across the White House?
He looked coming across the basketball court like who got next? He got that walk. He walk
absolutely.
I don't even like Monkey
that walk ain't gone nowhere.
Right.
Or even Denzel in every movie he got that walk.
Denzel
got
got
that.
that walk. We need to do a Denzel month. What are we thinking?
Absolutely. That's next. You just
Let's
name
do
what
a
we doing. Who we doing next?
yes. We got to do
Absolutely.
a Denzel walk. But
Yeah,
I'm
we
going to get you.
Denzel. We could
Go ahead.
do Denzel for the rest of the year. That will fill up all of his movies. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on, come on, come
Yeah,
on.
we certainly got to do him next. That's a great
This is
idea to do him
the
next.
one with
Yeah.
Sanaa Lathan. That's my movie. That keeps me on my seat, my edge of my seat every single time. Why can't I
Does it?
think of the name of the movie? Oh, I can't even think right now.
Is it a time to something?
Out of time,
Something
something.
time?
Out of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
movie, I
Something like that.
remember
It was
seeing
something like
that movie in the movie theater and it had me like this. And still to this day, when I watch it, it's like, come on, come on, come on, come on. When that fax is going through the machine and he trying to catch it, it's
that.
like, woo, that movie is good. We got to do that. That's
Yeah.
one of my movies right there. But let's see if we have one last trivia for I'm gonna get you, sucker. Well, I will say this: any movie that got get with GIT and sucker with SUCKA, and you spell it just like that, and they give you 3 million for it, and you make 13 million. Come on now, I'm going to get
Yep.
you, sucker. Oh Lord, Basine
Yep.
says she requested we do Shamar Moore month for the month of July. She loves.
Oh Lord.
What is
Oh
it?
Lord.
We might do pick your favorite Shamar Moore movie. We will do that for you. Just like last year. Remember, we did something for what did we do for her birthday last month? Remember, I mean
Who was
last year,
that?
season one.
It was it was somebody who it was whoever her favorite was.
Who
I
did
can't
we
remember
do?
who the movie that. Yeah, I can't
Basically,
remember
what
who it
movie
was
did
that
we
we
do
did.
for you last year? And we'll do Leroy and I. Oh, we did Brothers. Was it Brothers? Because Shamar is in there. Was it Brothers?
Yeah, he's in the movie The Brothers.
No, I'm saying, was that the one last year? We'll wait for her to respond, but let us know what Shamar Moore, and we could do. We ain't doing Shamar Moore month, but maybe we'll give you a movie.
I'm sorry, Basine, but he don't have a month worth of movies though. I'm sorry.
Ooh, ooh. No,
Now I
no,
know
don't
he's done a lot of TV. Yeah, he's done a lot of TV. But I tell you one movie that I did like that he did with
I
Vivica
know what
Fox,
you're going to
Motives.
say.
That was a really good
Yes,
movie.
because I knew you was going to
That
say that
was
because we talked about Motors 1 and 2 were good, but Motors
I
1 was
ain't like two. They could
better.
have left two alone.
That's
But
true.
Motives was really I
It
thought that
was
one
good.
was good, and I think that went straight to DVD. That
I
one
got
I don't even
look.
think that was in the
I
movie.
got the DVD.
Yeah. Now maybe if that's her favorite movie, maybe we can do that. That one would be a good one to do.
That would, but we would probably be schooling people because Leroy, maybe me, you, and Basine the only ones that seen it.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was one of that I think people slept on
Yeah, it was
because
good.
it had good acting, it had Golden Brooks in it. It
It
had
did.
what's his name, Joe Torre in it.
Yeah, it was good.
Even what's the young lady from the soap operas? What's her name? Because she played the detective.
Yeah, she did.
Um,
I can't think of her name.
what is her name?
Victoria
Yeah, I can't
Rao.
think of her name either.
Is it Victoria
Yeah,
Rao?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. But it
Mhm.
had a really good cast, and
Yeah.
the movie had a nice plot, had a nice story
Mhm.
to it, and then even the twist at the end. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it was a good movie. That one
It was
was
a good movie.
probably Shamar's best movie. The one he did with Tyler Perry, you know what I'm saying?
That new movie that
I'm
he
trying to
wrote
think
a
of what
couple
else.
years ago is pretty good. The Shamar Moore. The movie that he wrote, and she said, brother, she can't remember what she wore yesterday, let alone what we played, what we
Uh,
dedicated to her.
Now
But
the
I
brothers was good. Yeah, that was the brothers.
think,
I'm sorry, the brothers was probably his best movie too. Yeah,
but
yeah, that and
Shamar
Motives were
Moore,
good. So those
he
were two
wrote,
good.
he wrote or directed, he produced a movie like with Bill Bellamy a couple of years ago called The Bounce Back. And that was actually a good movie.
Yes, yeah, I
That was
remember.
a
I've
good
seen
movie.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. That was a
yeah.
good movie. So maybe we'll do something for you.
I
Maybe
didn't
we'll do
realize that. I didn't realize that he wrote and directed that. Okay,
yeah, I'm
okay,
not sure if he wrote it, so don't quote me on that, but he was
okay,
behind that movie. He casted it. He wanted Bill
okay.
Bellamy. Like he was an executive producer. Like it was his
Producer,
movie. It was
gotcha.
his movie. I think the idea did come from him. but he was very involved in that movie. Yeah,
Got you.
he got it. He got it greenlit. Everything, like he was involved, because I remember he was on Wendy Williams' show and he was talking about it and promoting it, and him and Miss Bill Bellamy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she said
So
bounce back.
yeah, so yeah, once she looks at the movies that she likes, and like you said, picking one of them to kind of do as her favorite Shamamu movie. That's cool.
Okay, so she said the bounce back was good. So maybe we'll talk about that, and that'll give us, maybe we'll do 2 in 1. Maybe we'll do, like you said, motives, and maybe we'll do the bounce back. Maybe we'll do something like that for you, since you
Yeah,
always support us. But everybody, this
absolutely.
has been great. Leroy, before we leave, what should the people do?
Y'all know what we trying to do or what we're doing. So y'all need to go on and click that notification bell so that you can know whenever Miss 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 is on, because she on every day. You know what I'm saying? She's like Tom, what's his name? Tom Joyner, the hardest working woman on YouTube. But we also need you to like and subscribe, y'all, because come here, y'all. She trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so we need y'all to help. Don't tell her I told y'all though, okay? Don't tell her. But we trying to get her. We trying to get her to 1,000 subscribers, so we need y'all to share it so that other people can subscribe to it too. Can y'all do that? Y'all right now, go ahead, click the share button, send it to 5 people, and then they can send it to 5 people. Go on, click the share button. Go on, click the share button. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Okay, I didn't hear nothing. Leroy, I love you, man. I'm telling you, like I always say, I would not want to do this show
This is
without you.
always fun, man. I
It
always
is.
enjoy this because
It
it
is.
is so much fun.
And I love you because you allow me to be me, even when sometimes I be rude, cutting you off. Sometimes I don't mean it. I just get so excited. This is like the highlight of my week.
It is always good just to be able to, like we said, just to reminisce and talk about all these stories, and hopefully this brings back memories for you and think about when you first saw it, and just the great people. This is the list of people that we just named in this movie, and then like you said, that have passed on.
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully this brings as much joy to you all as it does us, because we be having fun. We y'all here, we
Even
just
if
having
nobody
fun.
watching, but they see we be having a good
Right.
time. Because I know that on Thursdays I'm gonna be cracking up, and I look forward to doing this with my brother, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and tell your friends about More Than Just a Movie. Love you, man.
Love you
Bye, guys.
back.
Watching live or the playback.